Well, my friends, we are glowy today. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are sitting by the window again. I have loved filming videos in front of the window, and it seems like every single time I film a video like this, you guys also enjoy it. I just love the vibe. I always feel like way more chill when I sit just in front of the window. So today, what we're gonna be doing is creating more of a summery makeup look. I have a few new summery products that I've really wanted to try that I'm gonna be incorporating into this tutorial. We're gonna be testing out some new like eyeshadows and blushes and bronzers, and there's also like a lip product. And then also I'm going to share with you guys my new favorite sunscreen and also a new foundation that I've been testing out that I've also been really loving. So let's not waste any time. Let's just get right into the tutorial. So as you can see, I'm fresh faced in front of the camera. I've done all of my skincare routines. So I already applied my morning serums, eye cream, and then my moisturizer. And the last step that I love to do before going into my makeup is sunscreen. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know how much of a sunscreen freak I am. Sunscreen is so important to me, but as you can see, I also have very acne prone and sensitive skin. So for me personally, and I've talked about this on my channel before, I always reach for physical sunscreens. It's way more gentle on my sensitive skin, and I just find that it works best for my personal taste and my skin type. And I wanted to talk to you guys about a sunscreen that I have been so in love with, and I've been wearing it every single day underneath my makeup, and it's incredible. I'm so excited to be working with Supergoop on this video. Supergoop is one of my favorite sunscreen brands. I actually started using this brand before I ever had a YouTube channel, so it's kind of a dream come true that they're working with me on this video, but I'm so thrilled to tell you guys about this sunscreen. It checks off all of my boxes when it comes to what I look for in a sunscreen. This is amazing. This is the Supergoop Zinc Screen 100% mineral lotion. The thing that makes this different than my other mineral sunscreens that I've tried, well, first of all, one thing that's really cool is it's a non-nano lotion, and I actually had to research what that meant, but non-nano means the particles of zinc are large enough to just sit on top of the skin and not go into the skin or into the bloodstream, which can cause some irritation. So I really like that about this sunscreen. But besides that, if you've used a zinc sunscreen before, you may notice that some give a white cast to the skin. It's very common with mineral sunscreens to kind of have that effect. And the second thing that I usually notice with a mineral sunscreen is it's a little bit more of a greasy finish. If you've had those issues in the past and it's something that you don't really like, this is amazing. First of all, let me show you. It has a really nice pump applicator, which I love, but the coolest thing about it is the color. As you can see, it has a bit of a pink tint to it, and I like to just rub it in my hands first, and then I just apply it to the face using my hands, and you'll see that because of that pink tint, it really doesn't give a white cast at all. And I've even noticed that it gives a little bit of a brightening effect to the skin, which is nice. After it's all spread out into the skin, I like to press it into the skin to make sure that it's really in there and that I have the most protection, especially since I have acne prone skin and especially since I do struggle with acne scarring. So that's why I'm super diligent with my sunscreen, and this one has a more of a mattifying finish, which is great if you have oily skin or sensitive skin. And I've used this under a bunch of different foundations and it's never altered the finish or the wear of the foundation. In fact, I almost feel like it helps my foundation wear a bit longer. If you can't tell, I love this so much, you guys. I will have this link down below if you want to check it out. If you've been looking for a good mineral sunscreen that doesn't give you a white cast and that also has more of a matte finish, look no further. This is amazing. All right, so after applying the Supergoop Zinc Screen sunscreen, my skin is ready for makeup. I've actually been trying this foundation out for the past couple days and I've really been enjoying it, so I wanted to bring it on camera to kind of show you guys the finish and how I like to wear it. It's the new Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue foundation, and the one that I'm going to use is in the shade 108 Light. I love the applicator on this as well. It has a really nice pump. I love pumps on a foundation. I'm just going to do about one pump. I just wanted to show you the texture of this. It's a little bit more runny, which I personally really like, and it's marketed to be more of a matte finish foundation, but I haven't found that to be very true. It definitely leans more matte, but it looks very healthy on the skin, which is why I've been really enjoying it. Since I'm wanting to achieve more of a glowy summery look, I'm going to go ahead and mix the Milani Soft Focus Glow right into the foundation. The one I'm going to be using is in the shade 01 Nude Glow. And I'm just going to mix about that much into the foundation. My overall goal with this makeup look is to do something kind of glam, but I'm going to try to use less makeup so that the skin looks really healthy. So that's what the two products look like combined. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of dot this all over the face first. And I actually have a new sponge I wanted to try. This launched with the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue foundation. It's their sponge. It's a really cool shape, so I wanted to try it today. I'm going to go ahead and take the bottom and dip it into what's left on the hand. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of pounce the foundation into the skin. The sponge is very bouncy, but it seems to be blending things out really nicely actually. I'm just continuing to blend everything out until it looks nice and even all over the skin. Okay, I'm actually really liking that level of coverage. You can build up this foundation to be more full coverage if you want to, and it builds up really beautifully. But again, I feel like I want to keep it like this. We can always add more coverage with concealer, which is what I feel like I'm gonna do. So I think I'm gonna leave it like this. I still feel like my skin looks like skin, but it's clearly a little bit more even toned than it was when we started. For concealer, I'm wanting to use the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. This is not a new product to me, but I've been loving it. I'm gonna mix 2 shades underneath the eyes. Starting with Natural Ivory, I'm just gonna kind of do 3 dots like this underneath the eyes. And then I'm gonna take the darker shade called Classic Ivory, and I'm gonna dot that right in between. And then I'm also going to use this to conceal blemishes. So instead of layering up more foundation, sometimes it's really nice to just spot conceal. Even if you're like me and you do have quite a few areas to conceal, I feel like overall the end result is so nice when a lot of your skin is still able to shine through. So I'm just gonna go ahead and buff out, or blend out, I guess. I'm just gonna blend out the blemish concealer first using that same sponge, and then we'll go ahead and blend out the under eye area. I'm gonna start to blend out the under eye area now, and I actually am really liking the shape of this sponge because the corner really allows me to get right into this inner corner here, which is typically really hard for me to reach with most sponges. I'm really liking this sponge so far. And I'm also making sure to take what's left on the sponge and kind of just dab it on the eyelid, because for me, I do have some discoloration there. And I also really like to take the concealer and kind of dab it around the edges of the nose because a lot of us have redness there as well. I'm just gonna take the tiniest bit more of foundation and just apply it right to the bottom of the sponge. And I'm just gonna add a little bit more coverage on the cheeks. I do have quite a bit of hyperpigmentation there, so I always like to add a little bit more coverage just to kind of cancel that out. There we go. I feel like that's just a little bit better. You can still see through my skin a little bit, but it's just slightly more even toned again. I'm also gonna take what's left on the sponge and just kind of drag it down the neck, just to make sure there's no harsh lines between where the foundation starts and stops. Otherwise, it's a dead giveaway, my friends. Okay, I'm loving how the complexion looks. So next, I'm gonna set the under eye area, and I'm gonna use my trusty Glossier Wowder. I've loved this stuff. It is so good. I have mine in the shade G11 to G12. And before I lock in the concealer under the eyes, I'm just gonna take the sponge and make sure to press out any creasing, and then go straight into it and just lightly tap the powder underneath the eyes, and that'll just make sure that it doesn't crease. Same thing on this eye. And then I always like to take a larger fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna take that same loose powder, and since I do have coverage on my cheeks, I really don't want that moving around. So I always like to take a little bit of powder and just set the rest of the face, just to make sure it's nice and locked in, especially if it's a hot summery day. The last thing we want is our makeup sliding off, you know what I mean? I've been working on my beauty room. It's slowly coming together, but I'm so excited to get it all organized and to show you. I will definitely be filming videos when I'm all done, and also maybe some decluttering videos. I'm not sure. Are you guys into those videos anymore? Comment down below and let me know, because I'm debating whether or not to film those. Next, I'm gonna dip into my Jouer Soft Focus Hydrate and Set Powder. I like to use this with the same brush I just used, and I like to use this as more of a finishing powder. And I especially love it in the T-zone. I just feel like it blurs everything. It looks so good. But I feel like the name is really good, the Soft Focus Hydrate and Set, because I believe this has hyaluronic acid in it. So it's not gonna be an extremely drying powder, which is nice. Especially in the summer where, like, again, you want your makeup to be set, but you also don't wanna feel like your makeup's too heavy or dry or cakey or anything like that. And this is just the perfect thing. All right, I'm really happy with where the complexion is at. Let's go ahead and put brows on before I go crazy. I do not like having my brows not filled in for too long. But when I do my complexion first, I usually do my brows at this point in the makeup routine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill these in. I'm gonna be using the M Cosmetics Fine Liner Brow Pencil in the shade Deep Taupe. And I like to fill in the ends first, and then I move it towards the front of the brows, and I just start filling it in really, really lightly until I get the effect that I want. I've been trying to make my brows look more feathery recently. Do you guys follow Nikki Makeup on Instagram? Oh my gosh. She does the most incredible feathery brows. She's such an amazing makeup artist. So I'm trying to channel my inner Nikki Makeup. I mean, I don't know, pretty decent. Okay, so the brows are pretty filled in. We can always deepen them up later if I feel like it needs a little bit more definition. But for now, let's move into eyeshadow. I've been dying to use this palette, you guys. I recently purchased it from ColourPop. It's fairly new. I mean, by now they have like 5 more palettes, but this is the ColourPop California Love eyeshadow palette. And it's like every neutral lover's dream. Look at these tones. Oh my gosh, and that glitter, I can't. I'm so excited. I'm wanting to start off with this shade right here called Gnarly. And I'm gonna take this on a fluffy brush. This one is the Morphe M573. And I'm just gonna start to kind of work that into the crease, just with a little bit of the product at first. And then once there's less product on the brush, I like to kind of buff it towards the end of the brow, and then also a little bit in this inner corner here. I'm just gonna add a bit more. Since we already did our complexion, it's better to work in smaller layers just to avoid fallout. So I just take a little bit on the brush and build it up over time versus taking a ton in and then going in to do your eyeshadow and having a ton of fallout. It just kind of helps prevent that. This is a beautiful transition shade though. I'm gonna do the same thing on this eye right here. ColourPop shadows always blend so nicely. I think their mattes are always so beautiful. I'd be happy with this shade just all over the lid, to be honest. But I'm not gonna do that today. We'll do something a little bit more fun. I'm gonna take a little bit more of that same exact shade, and I'm gonna take the same brush and just pinch the brush and run that along the lower lash line to kind of define it a bit. I'm actually loving this shade all over the eye. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So now that we kind of have a good general shape, we're gonna deepen up the eye a little bit, but I'm gonna kind of ease into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip into this shade right here called the Bay, which is just slightly deeper. And I'm gonna take this on a Sigma E25 blending brush. I'm gonna tap off the extra, and I'm gonna start to work this into the outer corner and then buff it into the crease to deepen that up even more. Oh my goodness, all these warm browns. You just can't go wrong, especially in the summertime. Oh, that's so pretty. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of that same shadow and I'm going to connect the two colors on this outer portion here. See how I'm kind of creating more of a triangle shape out in this outer portion of the eye? I just feel like that helps the whole look come together once you apply mascara and everything. It just makes it look like it's supposed to be there when it all connects in the corners. Okay, I feel like we just have to use this shade right here called Diego. I'm gonna take this on my ring finger. Ooh, look at that, that's so pretty. And I'm just going to apply this to the eyelid. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. That is stunning, my friends. Oh my gosh, that's like the perfect summery bronze. It's so good. I'm just packing this all over the lid. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be shy with this one. It's too good. Oh my gosh, I love this. Same thing on this eye. Woo! Oh my gosh, so pretty. It's like literal sunshine on the eyelids. If you can't tell, I'm obsessed with this. This color is just too good. Oh my gosh. We're gonna dip into this shade right here called Cruisin', which is just a bit of a lighter toned gold, and I'm gonna be taking a Morphe M506. I'm gonna tap off the extra, and I'm just gonna buff this into the inner corner here to kind of create a little bit of a gradient into that other gold shade. I didn't even have to wet the brush with this shade. Oh my goodness, both of those metallic shades are so intense in the best way. Would you look at this? I'm actually gonna take that same Cruisin' shade, and I'm gonna pinch the brush and carefully drag this across the lower lash line, mainly focusing it in that inner corner again. Same thing over here. Oh, there's a bit of fallout now. I'm gonna try to dust that away before it settles too much. I'm wanting to take this shade next. This is called Laguna. It's a really pretty kind of peachy orange color. Tap off the extra, and I'm wanting to kind of add this on the edge of the gold, and I'm hoping that that will kind of help blend it out a little bit more. Ooh, that's really pretty. It definitely adds even more warmth to the eye, but I'm not mad about it. Same thing over here, just buffing it right into the gold shade and then blending it out into that outer corner. And we'll take what's left and kind of buff it right here. Beautimous, I love it. I'm gonna actually take the first shade that we used, and I'm gonna take a slightly smaller brush than the one we used first. The shade is called Gnarly, and it's the one that we used as the transition. I'm just wanting to kind of shape it out even more right above where the gold is, right here. And I'm gonna take even more of that and run it lower underneath the lash line, just to kind of hug the metallic shades. I just feel like it will help it stand out even more. I'm really liking how bold yet soft this is turning out. I'm gonna take this same small brush that we used with the Cruisin' shade right here, and I'm gonna dip into Diego, which was that insane bronze shade that we have on the lids. I'm gonna do the same thing where I pinch the brush, and I really want this shade to be a huge focal point underneath like the pupil of the eye. So pretty, oh my gosh. Okay, last thing before mascara, I'm gonna go ahead and take this shade right here called Gold Rush. That's cute. My husband had a gerbil named Gold Rush growing up. So that name made me think of it. I'm just gonna take this right along the lower lash line just to kind of create a little more definition there. And then I'm also gonna take it right here on the top lash line just to kind of create some interest on that outer corner. Oh man, this is a good palette, my friends. I'm really liking it. You know what? I'm gonna kind of switch it up a little bit and do things out of my normal routine. Instead of applying mascara right now, I'm gonna do bronzer and blush. And then we'll see if we want to add any more to the eyes. I think this is where I want it, but sometimes when you see it all together, you can kind of gauge, okay, I want more on the eyes or less on the eyes. So anyways, I wanted to try this out on camera. This is the new Wander Beauty Trip for Two Blush and Bronzer Duo. And this particular one has the shades Bellini and Costa Ray in it. There's also another palette that has two different shades, a different blush and a different bronzer. But this one seemed to be the one that would fit my skin tone best. So we're gonna dip into the bronzer shade. And I'm gonna take my Morphe M405 brush for this. And this is where we really want the sun-kissedness. Is that a word? I don't know. It is now. But I mean, what is a summery look without some bronzer? Am I right? So I'm just gonna start to kind of layer this around the perimeters of the face. Ooh, I'm really liking how this is blending out so far. I also love to make sure to bronze up the jawline and the neck. I feel like this bronzer has a slight sheen to it, which I really like. I'm just gonna take it on an eyeshadow brush and run it down the sides of my nose. And I like to connect it into the existing eyeshadow right here. And I like to put a little bronzer under the nose as well. And then I always like to take my powder brush and just kind of buff over everything just so it's not too harsh. And I'm gonna take that same brush and buff over everything on the cheeks as well. I'm loving it. It's like McDonald's or something. I'm loving it. Okay, what we're gonna do next is I'm gonna take an eyeshadow brush and I'm gonna take the bronzer. Ever since I saw Lisa Eldridge do this in a makeup tutorial, I have not been able to stop, but I have just been loving to apply whatever bronzer I'm using right underneath the eyes right here. It just helps kind of bring it down into the rest of the face. I'm gonna take the smaller powder brush and just kind of buff underneath that to make sure it's a nice clean line, but I love what that does. All right, I'm dipping into the same Wander Beauty palette. I'm just gonna take the blush. Again, this is in the shade Bellini. I'm gonna take a Flower Beauty blush brush and I'm just going to smile and apply this to the apples of the cheeks. Ooh, it's a really pretty pinky peach blush and I feel like it really ties in with this eye look actually. Very nice. I like to take some of the blush and kind of go across the nose a little bit. Just whatever's left on the brush. I don't like to really dip into it and then go over the nose. Sometimes that can be a little too much. But I'm also loving how that looks. So far so good with this bronzer blush duo. I feel like it's very travel friendly as well, which is kind of like the whole point of Wander Beauty. I feel like they make really great travel friendly products. All right, let's go back to the eyes. I'm debating, here's what I'm thinking, you guys. Here's what's taken me so long. I'm wondering if I should put the glittery shade on, but I like the softness of this. But like, let's be honest, it wouldn't be my kind of a makeup tutorial without some glitter. So this shade is called El Capitan and I am just gonna take this much and we will see how this goes. I'm just going to apply it kind of on like the center of the lid and I'm gonna be really gentle to just kind of press it there so that we have a little bit of magic, but it's not overpowering. How's that? Yeah. It just adds something. Same thing on this eye. Oh yeah, it's really not that much glitter, but in my opinion, it makes the biggest difference. Yes, yes, yes. All right, now we're gonna go into mascara. I've been looking forward to trying this mascara for a while. This is the new ColourPop BFF Volumizing Mascara, and this is the one that kind of came out with the California Love collection. It's in the shade Brownie Points, so it's a really dark brown. And I just felt like for a summery makeup look, a brown mascara would be so beautiful because it's gonna define the lashes, but it's just gonna be that much softer than a black mascara, so I don't know, I'm just really excited. Here's the tone of the mascara. Hopefully you can see that against the applicator. Let's go ahead and apply this to the top and bottom lashes. Ooh, I'm really liking this color. What do you guys think? Can you tell that it's brown? It's so subtle, but it's pretty. I really like this. I've actually heard that it's really flattering to do black mascara on the top lashes and then like a brown on the bottom because in photographs it kind of helps soften the look. And now that I have a brown mascara, I'm definitely gonna try that later, but I feel like it looks really gorgeous on both the top and bottom lashes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it to this eye as well. All right, there's the mascara on the eyes. I truly love it. I just think it's so much softer than a typical black mascara. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe off any foundation that we have on the lips. And there's not really a shade in here that would work for my inner corners. So we're just gonna go into highlighter, and I'll probably use the same highlighter that I am gonna use on the face, just in the inner corners. So when I was thinking of like a good summer glowy makeup look, I was going through my favorite highlighters and I was trying to pick between these two, and then I thought to myself, what would happen if I combined the two? So that's what I'm gonna try. I'm gonna be layering these two right here. First, we're gonna apply the Glossier Play Night Shine Illuminator, or Highlighter Concentrate is actually what it's called. This is so good. Oh wait, since this is a cream product, I am going to assess the situation a little early, and I'm gonna go into my bronzer and just add a tad bit more, just to warm things up slightly. What a pretty bronzer. I honestly love this. And I am gonna add a little bit more blush. You can just never have too much blush. Well, actually, you probably can, but I just love blush so much. I'm just blending everything again with my powder brush just to make sure it's nice and seamless. All right, now we're ready for a highlighter. This highlighter, oh man, you guys, this is what you need for a good summer glow. All I like to do is just dot it. I'm gonna do that much first, and I take my finger and I just kind of blend it out and down. I like to blend it in a C shape around the brow right here, and then I'm just gonna press that into the cheeks a little bit. Is it catching? Is the glow catching in the sunlight? I sure hope so, because oh my gosh, by golly, that is a good summer highlighter, I'll tell you what. Let's do the same thing over here. I'm gonna dip back into it though. 1, 2, 3. Just using my finger, I'm gonna start to kind of tap that in, up and around the brow, and then just kind of blend it down while tapping. I don't know how they created this formula, but somehow it works over powders, which is insane because it is a very creamy product. But I guess when it dries down, it does have more of a powdery finish. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm obsessed with this. I'm kind of wanting a little bit of a glow on the front of the cheeks. So I'm just gonna take some on my fingertips actually, like this. And I'm just doing this real quick. And I'm just gonna kind of press that right here on the front of the cheeks a bit. I don't want this to look splotchy, so I'm doing my best to really kind of blend it in. I'm also trying not to swipe it though, because that will take up the products underneath. So I'm just pressing it in. All right, I'm also gonna take this down the center of the face. So just right here, and then also on the Cupid's bow, like that. Just taking my finger again and pressing that really lightly into the skin. Like I'm seriously using the smallest amount of pressure. And then we have a glowy mustache today, but it will all come together in the end. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, it's so pretty, you guys. All right, I was just waiting for this to dry down. I'm gonna give it a couple more seconds. Why don't we do the inner corner highlight with that same highlighter really quick? And in order to make this work, I'm gonna take a Morphe M124 brush, and I'm just gonna take a bit of that highlighter, and I'm gonna use this to highlight the inner corner of the eye. It actually makes a really great inner corner highlight, in my opinion. We're taking what's left and applying it right underneath the brow bone. Perfect. Okay, let's see what this does. This is probably gonna give us extreme glow. This is the Ciate Dewy Sticks, and I love this. This is in the shade Glow. It's basically a bunch of like dew in the bottle, okay? There's no sparkle or anything. It's basically just like a balm. And I'm just gonna go ahead and tap this right on top of the Glossier one. Oh my word. I feel like that did do something. We'll do the same thing over here. I'm hoping it's not separating that product underneath. I don't think it is. It looks good to me. Oh my gosh. That is dewy. I'm basically just gonna add this right over top of wherever we applied the Glossier highlighter, besides on the eyes. I'm gonna leave the eyes as is. Summer glowy skin. Wow. I absolutely love that. All right, let's do the lips. I'm gonna go into the KKW Beauty lip liner. This is in the shade Nude 0.5. I have been really loving this. I've been wearing it quite a bit recently. And I'm gonna line and fill in the lips with this. If you wanted more of a matte lip, you could totally stop here, but I did want to try out a new gloss. I actually bought the entire summer collection from Kylie Cosmetics, and it's in my living room, and I really feel like I could try all those products out in a different video, but I kind of was also impatient and really wanted to try something out. So this is the gloss that she launched with that collection. It's in the shade You Are the Sun. Just look at this packaging, okay? Do you see the iridescent cap and then the shade of that gloss? I just thought it would be perfect for this look. So that's what we're going to apply next. Let's see how this applies on top of the lip liner. I don't know. Ooh, they're pretty gloss though. It smells like a bakery. I'm just taking my finger and kind of pressing it into the lips. But I really like the subtle gold reflect in that. I feel like it makes the lips look extra plump, and it also ties into the gold on the eyes. Let me wipe off my finger. All right, let's assess the situation one last time. AKA, let's do the brows a tiny bit more. Just using that same exact M Cosmetics pencil. Okay, I feel like that's as good as the brows are gonna get. Let's go ahead and set the face. I really wanted to kind of add to the glow. If you were going out all night, I would recommend using the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. That's my go-to. I just wanted the skin to look so dewy and fresh. So I wanted to finish off the look with the Lila B Aglow Face Mist. This is a gorgeous setting spray, but it is very dewy, so keep that in mind. And I'm just gonna go ahead and spray this all over the face. And I'm gonna use my hands to fan because my handy fan, the battery died, so I need to recharge it. And then I'm gonna go back into my Dose of Color sponge, and I'm just gonna really lightly press down onto the skin just to make sure that all the peach fuzz on my face is pressed in and that the setting spray is pressed into the skin. I can't get over that glow. Are you kidding? Might be my new favorite highlighter combo, let me tell you. To finish off the Nikki Makeup inspired feathery brows, I'm so happy because I have a brand new bottle of this 24-hour brow setter from Benefit. My old one was getting so old. But this is like my favorite brow gel, and I'm just gonna go ahead and brush this through the brows, and I'm not gonna be afraid to make them a little bit feathery, you know? Yes, I like that. Well, my friends, we are glowy today. Aren't we? Oh my gosh, I love how this makeup turned out. Look at the highlighter and then the eyeshadow and then even the lip color. I'm honestly so in love with this. I wanted to show you guys nice and close up in natural light. And also the brown mascara, I just feel like adds a more like feminine touch to the eyes, you know? I love it. I love this look. All right, you guys, so that completes this makeup tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this look as much as I do. I feel like it screams summer. Like, this is the kind of look where you just, you know, after you're done with your makeup, you're like, I have to go out tonight, you know? I can't stay inside when my makeup looks this glowy. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel, at least. A huge thank you again to Supergoop for working with me on this video. Seriously, an absolute dream come true. I love them so much, and I really do stand by this product, you guys. It looks amazing underneath makeup, and it has already become such a staple in my routine. So be sure to check this out. It's an amazing mineral sunscreen. Super great if you have sensitive skin, especially. I know you guys are gonna love this. So again, everything will be linked down below. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays when I upload, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. Leave a comment down below letting me know what your go-to summer look is right now. I feel like my new go-to look might be this. My new go-to highlighter combo is definitely gonna be this. You know what I mean? So let me know in the comments down below what you guys have been loving. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!